What up, HyperChange? Welcome to another episode. I'm making this one for Elon Musk. I'm not quite important enough to be able to get a meeting with him yet, but if I had 5 minutes with him, here's what I'd say. Elon Musk, in my opinion, you have become Tesla's biggest existential threat. The short sellers cannot stop you from building cars, from succeeding with Tesla, from building amazing products, from changing the world, but they can remove you as CEO if you keep tweeting, and I just think you're one tweet away from really ruining Tesla and being fired, and the SEC taking even more action. And I mean, I understand where your frustration is coming from. I understand there's probably short sellers pressuring regulators unfairly to scrutinize Tesla, to maximize the penalties against the company. That's why the settlement with the SEC and the charges they wanted to bring were overly harsh. And I understand that's not fair, and I understand that frustration, but it doesn't matter because you're empowering those people by making these tweets, and all you have to do is just execute and ignore them, and all of it will go away. I mean, the saddest thing that I've seen happen in the past couple months is that Tesla's stock for once has actually diverged from the fundamental progress you're making in terms of executing on the Model 3 and your mission, and is now focused entirely on tweets and your volatility and your mental state and whether you're capable of running a company. A lot of concerns, which I think are very, very valid. I mean, as a long-term shareholder and someone that's been watching the company, it just seems like your tweets and actions are getting increasingly volatile at a time when we need to have them be less volatile, and it makes no sense. Like, if we're really in this for Tesla, we're really in this for the mission to transition the world off of fossil fuels, which is why Tesla has such a powerful community. And it's like, a huge shout. I'm so grateful that you've created this company, and like the progress towards inflecting the world towards sustainability has been incredible. And why throw it away when the Model 3 is here? It's been the best-selling car for the last 2 months in terms of revenue in the US. No one's focused on that news because they're focused on the SEC's investigation, which I understand is frustrating, but these are all self-inflicted things. And I know right after your tweet storm or tweets yesterday, I replied and said, I was supportive and stuff, but at the end of the day, I was up super late talking to Tesla podcasters, talking to customers. The biggest feedback I got is that there's a dividing schism in the Tesla community that's been brewing and brewing for months, and this tweet storm was the last straw for a lot of people who've been diehards for years, who are losing faith, who want to sell their stock, and there's nothing sadder than that, because they're not doing it because of the fundamentals. They're not doing it because of anything about the company, about anything the short sellers saying. They're just doing it because they don't know what you're going to tweet next. And, I even personally, as an investor and shareholder of Tesla, am getting worried because I thought it was awesome to have you as both the chairman and CEO. I think with a company that's going against so many headwinds, that needs to think incredibly long-term about its vision and stay laser focused on that, having a dual CEO chairman is exactly what the company needs at this stage. That got forcibly removed because of a tweet. Now, who knows who'll be chairman? I mean, your grip is literally losing on the company, and I'm worried that one more bad tweet and you're out for good. And I'm betting on Tesla because you're CEO and so many other people are, and the faith in Tesla, if you're removed, is going to crumble. The chances of the mission succeeding when we're so close is going to dwindle. So it's just literally everything that Tesla has worked for is on the cusp of just being thrown away by a couple tweets. And that's why I'm so confused, because I understand it might feel good in the moment to make a tweet, but there's so, like, the minute upside of feeling good for a tweet versus the entire risk of killing Tesla is just it makes no sense to me. The biggest thing that I think that you don't understand is that the short sellers and the media, they're loud and they exist, but they don't really exist. What do I mean by that? Although they're putting out all the headlines, although Tesla's one of the most shorted stocks on the entire stock market, they're not running the price, and they're not running the real narrative, which is Tesla's valuation, which has been higher than every single car company based on sales, based on revenue, based on profits, based on cars built. Everybody's giving you the leeway of the vision. Up until the funding secured tweet, Tesla was trading at 350, 360 a share, would probably be at all-time highs now if you hadn't done those tweets, because they would have just been focused on production numbers. I mean, you could have probably raised, $10 billion at 350 per share with minimal dilution, all to fund the vision. There's no reason the company has to be profitable this quarter other than you are forcing it because you just said it on Twitter, and now we're backed into it, and now we're skimping on customer deliveries, making the customer experience worse, and just putting all this unnecessary pressure on the company just because of a tweet. The only way the shorts could have won here, because they, in my opinion, would have already lost if we had just not had this funding secured thing, is if you keep tweeting. So look, even though this isn't fair, here's my advice. You are being scrutinized way more than normal, and probably way more than is fair, by regulators because of unnecessary and unfair pressure, whatever, from short sellers and from skeptics, and that sucks. But the only way to beat it is to keep your head down and execute, and by getting up and chirping at them and poking the tiger, the SEC, when there's just no reason to. hope I'm just wrong on this, but my biggest disappointment with Tesla and with your management style recently is that you're placing your ego over the company's success, over the company's mission, over the employees, over the shareholders, over the customers. And that just seems unfair. And that's you 6 months ago, in my opinion, would have been the last person in the entire world I would have thought would have done that. And so I don't know what to think anymore, because clearly my analysis was way off, and you'd rather get a 2-second high from a tweet calling the SEC a name than actually succeed on your mission that you set out, that you've inspired millions of people to support you on. And so it just makes no sense. And so I don't know what it is. Maybe you're overworked, maybe you're overstressed, maybe you need a vacation, take a week off. At the end of the day, I still think Tesla is going to do it. You're going to succeed. None of this matters, but I needed to make this video because I genuinely, I don't think there's been a way. I don't think you get that you're literally one tweet away from being forcibly removed from Tesla. It just could get really, it's on the cusp of getting so ugly. I don't know. I'm just super bummed out, and I don't get why. I literally, that's why it's kind of confusing. Maybe this episode's confusing. I don't really have a clear point because I just don't get it. Tesla was poised, the stock was heading to all-time highs. It just, everyone was the entire pendulum was swinging from Tesla can't build the Model 3 towards they can, towards they're going to be profitable. And now there's this dark cloud hanging over the stock. Even when you do report a profit, that's still going to be like, well, what's Elon going to tweet next? And it honestly is frankly a little bit justified. And so I just think my advice to you would be decrease your volatility and don't tweet something that's negative. Only tweet positive. Never acknowledge the shorts. You should cease to acknowledge all short sellers, and that is the best way to defeat them. And then in 10 years, when Tesla succeeded and you have all the money in the world, then you can change legislation and make it illegal for short sellers to exist. But until then, it just seems like they could actually take you down if you don't play the game. And so that is the reality of the situation. Maybe it's not fair, but that just is what it is. And they are looking for every single excuse they can to remove you as CEO. Don't give them another one, because they will pounce on it. At the end of the day, you dividing the Tesla community, making people frustrated, making people lose faith is the biggest mistake you could possibly make. Tesla's biggest asset is its community, is its brand, is that people love the company and they'll support it because they believe in the mission and they believe you're doing the right thing. And the second that starts to change, the community gets weaker and you lose your biggest advantage. And so this is, I think your volatility has become a material threat to the operating of nature of Tesla, and I don't know why. It makes no sense to me. I can't figure it out, but my advice would just be decrease your volatility, think about the mission, be the bigger man. It's just literally going to be one of the saddest things ever if we all watch Tesla crumble because you kept tweeting. I don't know. That is what it is. And so I probably am guilty of encouraging it with my last tweet. So I'll take an L on that. I've changed my mind. I personally don't care if you're calling the SEC names, but I do care that you're materially impacting the risk that Tesla could go bankrupt just for no upside. And so on the flip side, here's why I'm so excited. If you can just execute on the Model 3, stop tweeting. Tesla's trading at the cheapest price sales multiple it ever has in its history, despite the company being on more secure financial footing than it's ever been, having a more exciting product pipeline than you've ever had, having more resources to execute on this opportunity than ever before. The technology's been validated with the Model 3 sales, with the battery project in Australia. I mean, everything is working. I think the stock if you can just shut up for the next 6 months, is going to all-time highs, and then every single short concern, every single person in the media who is hating on Tesla will be wrong. The party can happen. You just got to shut up and execute on this moment that everyone who's been holding Tesla stock for years has been waiting on. The Model 3, the iPhone moment of the auto industry, it's here. All you have to do is not take the spotlight and let your actions and Tesla's execution take the spotlight, because that will craft the entire narrative that we all want, which is the truth, which is that you're changing the world, which is that we're going sustainable, and this is the most inspiring company that I've had the chance to watch. And I think I'm so proud to be involved, and it just kills me to see the potential that it could all go away because of a dumb tweet. So I don't know. That's my 2 cents. If you got, Ross Gerber, one of my buddies, I think put out the best tweet there is, which is like, Elon, if you want to vent, call us, call Ross Gerber, call me, call Ron Barron, like whatever, vent for an hour. Just don't do it on Twitter. That'll solve everything. Anyway, I hope you didn't take this the wrong way, because I'm the biggest Tesla supporter out there. I'm not selling a single share, and that is what it is. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.